2, 1. Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It was a day and a half that I hadn't done any live streams, and I realized it's time for me to get back on here and let you guys know that I am still alive, just like apparently Joe Biden is going to be doing today or tomorrow at some point. To let us know that he's still alive and that he is still the president of the United States. So today's live stream is called Monroe Mann Explains It All. And the main topics are ReDreaming, election 2024, and persistence, which is persistence. So the first topic that is this idea of ReDreaming. And it's just a concept that I came up with about maybe 5 years ago to help remind me that you should not let your dreams die. What's up, Major? How are you? You should not let your dreams die. You need to keep pushing forward regardless. Now, many people, including myself, at one point came up where there was a dream that I was pursuing or a dream that you're pursuing, and the dream just dies. And it's such a unique dream. There's nothing else. There's no way that you can do that. Again, maybe you get too old. Maybe you lose out the opportunity with one particular person or one particular company, and this was your dream company that you wanted to work with, and you think you cannot rekindle the dream. The dream is dead. That's where this idea of ReDreaming comes in. I want you guys to constantly realize that just because a dream itself dies doesn't mean you cannot still recreate the feeling, the same feeling that you would get from some other dream coming true. And that's ultimately what we're all seeking in life. We are all seeking something. What's up, Sankey? Okay. We all think that if there is a dream that we have and that dream dies, that maybe it's over, it's done with, and we cannot do anything further with that dream. But I'm telling you, I want you to ReDream. I want you to keep thinking. I mean, the analysis is, why did I want this original dream to come true? Let's just say it's some job at some major company, and you worked your whole life to get that particular job at that particular company, and then after 13 years of struggle and education and everything, you don't get the job, or the job shuts down. The company goes out of business or whatever. And the last 13 years, you think, oh my God, what a waste of time. I spent 13 years going after this one dream, and this one dream died. And there's no way for me to recreate it because either the job doesn't exist anymore, I cannot get this job anymore, or the company doesn't exist. I'm telling you, you're focusing on the wrong thing. This is this concept of ReDreaming. You were not going after this job because of the job. You were going after it because of the feeling it would give you when this job was attained. So the key is, this is a key psychology, guys. For those you don't know, I have a PhD in psychology, among many other degrees. When you chase after a dream, you're not chasing the actual dream. What are you chasing? You're chasing the feeling that the attainment of that dream will give you should it come true. So my idea of ReDreaming is, if you have any dream that falls to the side, all you need to do is ReDream. When you ReDream, you're coming up with some other solution that, when it's attained, will give you the exact same psychological adrenaline rush that you would have had the original dream come true. And some people combat me on this and go, no, it's not the same. It's not. But it's just, think about this. Just think about this with relationships. We've all, or we hope we all, at some point in your life, you'll fall in love with the most amazing girl or guy ever, and you'll think, this is it, it's perfect, and then that person breaks up with you. And you think, it's over with, I'm never gonna find anyone else that I feel strongly about. No one is like that girl, or no one is like that guy, and that's it, I'm done with love, I'm done with relationships. But just wait about 3 years. Hey, Cool Ed, I don't mind you saying Kamala for president, but don't be spamming with 5,000 hearts. So you can post it again, but don't be putting all those emojis in there. Thinking about ReDreaming is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton wanted to be, and this is not, I'm not talking politics right at this moment, I'm just using her as an example. She had a huge dream to become president of the United States. That's the ultimate political success in the world, if you can become president of the United States. And she tried so hard and failed. And I imagine, I relate to her because I know how terrible it is when you have a huge dream in life and then that dream it just disappears. It's gone. And this is this concept of ReDreaming. She does not, thank you very much. I take great pride in my hairline. I love how people, like, you think that's a criticism, saying nice hairline, man? I don't get it. It's like, do you think that's insulting to me? I think I'm a good looking guy and girls think I'm a good looking guy and I don't really care what you think, skeleton. So there you go. And yeah, Big Bang, again, I'm not talking about politics. I'm not a fan of her politically and I'm glad she did not become president, but I'm just speaking psychologically. It was devastating. I can only imagine for Hillary Clinton. By the way, thank you for clicking like. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm 7 subs away from 3,000 subscribers. So I'd certainly love your support. I can put my politics aside and recognize Hillary Clinton and I could sit down for an hour and easily talk about the agony of defeat. It is painful. But I also guarantee that, look, Hillary Clinton is unlikely now to ever become president of the United States. That dream is gone. But I am 100% certain that she can find some other dream to attain that would give her the same emotional adrenaline rush and satisfaction as she would have gotten from becoming president of the United States. There are naysayers out there who say, no, that'll never happen. She'll never recover from that. Psychologically, she will and she can. And I'm using Hillary Clinton as an example because none of us probably have as big of a dream as becoming president of the United States. Maybe you do. I mean, we all think about it. I daydream about that, becoming president of the United States. But it's not a real dream right at this point in my life. Maybe it never will be. But let's say it actually is, and it's something I wanted to do since I was a kid, which is certainly something I'm sure Hillary Clinton had been thinking about. And I believe in an interview she said that, or maybe it was Kamala Harris, I'm not sure. You guys, you cannot continue to chase the same dream sometimes. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I believed I could do absolutely anything. Nothing could get in my way, and any dream I had, I could make happen. I was in my 20s, I'm 46 now. So about 25 years later, now I've come to the realization that not every dream does come true. When I was in my 20s, it was 100% of the dreams you have can come true. Now, at 46, I would say 85% of your big dreams can come true. That's still a very high percentage. But it's that 15% of dreams that do not come true that can destroy you psychologically and can make you just give up on life and hate yourself and think you're a loser and think there's no hope in going forward. That's why I'm talking right now about ReDreaming. This concept of you do not need to recapture the exact same dream. Hillary Clinton does not need to become president of the United States for her to feel emotionally fulfilled, as long as she does not continually focus on becoming president of the United States again. That ship has sailed. I mean, technically not. Joe Biden was 80, basically, and Trump is 76, 77. So Hillary Clinton could still become president in the next 20, 25 years. But let's put that aside. Let's say that dream is gone. She could still find something else that would give her that same feeling of awesome. And that's what I want you guys to think about too. there is some dream in your life that has flown the coop. Now, some of those dreams have flown the coop because you've just given up. If that's the case, get off your butt and go back and pursue those dreams again. But there are some of us who've actually had a dream taken from us that we cannot pursue any longer because we've lost age, because we've lost our youth, and there are some laws where you have to be a certain age before you can do it, or you have, in China, you can't be a foreigner over there if I think it's 55 years old, unless you have some amazing exception from the government. I mean, a lot of my friends who were teaching English with me in China, they had to come back to the United States because they reached the age of forced mandatory retirement. So I get it. There are some situations where literally you think the door is closed. But I guarantee you, those people who were teaching in China and were forced to come back to the US because they got to their mandatory retirement age, they could get a 99% same feeling by teaching English in South Korea, teaching English in Japan, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. And not only that, it might be a brand new awesome experience because you're in a different culture. So what I'm trying to remind you guys is, do not get so focused on the past and trying to relive it and become so blinded to the fact that you can find something new and better. It's the same thing with relationships. Stop focusing on the girl or the guy that got away who dumped you or who's gone, because then you're not going to have your eyes open to the other person who's better, an even better situation. I sometimes have to remind myself, Monroe, sometimes things don't happen in your life, my life, because something better was meant to happen. Because I was meant to fail at this, because that would give me the change in trajectory that would lead me to the promised land where I was always supposed to go. I want to read you something from a book by C.S. Lewis. And C.S. Lewis he's the guy who wrote Chronicles of Narnia, and he wrote a bunch of Christian books. And this is just an interesting take that C.S. Lewis has about regrets and the past. And it's mind-blowing because I live in my past way too much. And I'm sure some of you watching me do as well. That we're always thinking back to things used to be so great in the past. Things used to be so wonderful, and now they're not. And before I do that, I just want to try to catch up on the chat. I don't know if I have any moderators in here today, so I may have to moderate myself if there's a lot of spam. Thank you, Rabbit Gamer. I'm glad you're here. We got a moderator. A rebel without a clue says it clearly bothers you. I don't think it's not my hairline that bothers me. By the way, rebel without a clue, it's my hair. I hate the fact, look, it's so humid down here in Florida that my hair is just kind of going all crazy. I honestly don't care about the hairline whatsoever. I've had a hairline like this for a long time. I'm used to it. So, Hillary Clinton wouldn't give you the time of day. Thank you very much, John Clayton. Hillary Clinton lives in a whole other world you will never see. I love how John Clayton is saying that about me, like as if John Clayton lives in the same world. By the way, I hope I don't live in the world of Hillary Clinton, because that's a world of corruption and deceit and lying, and I don't like her very much. So I'm glad I don't live in her world, but I can respect the agony of defeat that she felt when she lost the election. Let's see, the Epstein list, time to eat shrooms. Could you share your thoughts on Vivek Ramaswamy? All right, Vivek. Yeah, I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a very smart, incredible man. The fact that he's only, I think, in his 30s, 31, 32, and he's a billionaire already, super, super successful. And I think he's going to be running for J.D. Vance's Senate seat. And I have a feeling he's going to win. And I think we're going to soon have a Senator Vivek Ramaswamy in the next six months. So keep an eye out for that. Gershon Force is 85%. I like those odds, and I think those are pretty accurate. Big Bang says I'm 48 and no longer even know what my dreams are. So Big Bang, I'm 46. So I'm 2 years younger than you. And in about 2 months, I will be 47. If you don't know what your dreams are, first of all, this is the biggest. Do not think you're about your age. Forget about your age. Now, I tell this story a lot on these live streams, but I think it's such a relevant story that I like to remind people of it. An old guy goes into a piano store, and he's looking at a young woman playing piano beautifully, some Chopin sonatas on the piano. And the old guy goes, ugh. And one of the piano teachers comes over to the old gentleman and goes, what's the matter? Why are you crying? And she says, I'm 86 years old. Do you know how old I will be when I could play piano like that? And the piano teacher looks at the old guy and says, I do, sir. The same age you will be if you don't. So I'm 46. I just started pre-med classes at Miami-Dade College. I already got a PhD in psychology. I'm a lawyer. I have a master's in entrepreneurship. I've got many other degrees as well. And now I'm going back. And I still think in my head, why am I doing this? It's going to take me 1.5 years to finish all of the pre-med classes that I still need to take. Then 4 years of med school, assuming that I get in. And before I even get into med school, look, I've got to study that MCAT, all of those subjects and do well in the MCAT, then go to 3 years of residency. I'm going to be probably 55 years old by the time I become a medical doctor, assuming I go that route. And I'm always reminded, when I think about that, I think of this old man, Monroe. And I go, I know how old I'm going to be by the time I become a medical doctor. And I remember, yeah, the same age I will be if I don't. And I think about that. How cool which would be cooler, to become 55 years old and I haven't become a doctor, or 55 years old and I am a medical doctor? That's pretty cool if I'm 55 years old and I'm a medical doctor. And at 55, I'll look back and go, you know what? That was kind of a fun journey, because I'm sure I'm going to make lots of friends. I'm going to learn a lot about the human body. I'm going to create another potential income stream. Maybe I could become a doctor. Maybe that could be a job that I could find fulfilling. Who knows? So Big Bang 75, that's the first thing I want you to just remember, is stop thinking about your age. Your age is irrelevant. And this applies to any of you who are 15 years old watching as well, or younger or older. Stop using your age as an excuse. If you want to do something, you do it. Now, again, as I told you, there are some jobs that are age specific. I wanted to become a police officer in New York, but I was too old by law. I moved to Florida, went to police academy. Unfortunately, didn't get hired at any police department. I got very far in all these processes, but for whatever reason, they decided not to hire me. I think that was a mistake, and of course that was very devastating. So what did I do? I used all of my life experience and got my private investigator license in Florida and in New York. And now I run a not-for-profit private investigation agency, and we've got cases all around the world. It's a success. I ReDreamed. And it gives me about 85% the same feeling that I had when I was in Iraq and when I was in police academy. You're not going to have the exact same dream, but you can still ReDream and create something similar. I read a book once by a psychologist who said that most of us are trying to have a 100 to 200% improvement in our lives. We want to win the lottery. We want to get this dream girl. We want to do this. We want to do that. And he said, stop. All you need is a 5% improvement in any aspect of your life, and you will feel almost a 70% skyrocket in your mood and your self-esteem and your sense of satisfaction. So literally, if you just improve your fitness level 5% higher than what it is now, you will have immeasurable psychological benefits. If you increase your income by just 5% over the next year, guess what? You're going to feel that, and you're going to feel much better about yourself and your financial life. So stop trying to create these monster size improvements on your life. You got to just make small incremental improvements. You can make a 5% improvement in your life today, right now. Right after we get off this live stream, you could make a list of what are 10 things that I can improve 5% this week. And guess what? That's going to have a monster-size positive effect on your life. Thank you again for you guys joining me. My name is Monroe Mann. Please click like. You can double tap the screen. Hope you'll subscribe. I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers. I do lots of cool things on here, not only motivational psychology, we talk politics, I have comedy, I have improv, I have live music, my originals, I have my cover songs that I do. So much cool stuff that we talk about here, so thanks for joining. CLVR is here, thank you. Rebel Without a Clue says, I achieved my dream 4 years ago. Sit around all day and smoke. Okay, good. I'm very happy for you, Rebel Without a Clue. That's the dream, you're living it. Re-elect Jimmy Carter. Apparently he's more alive and kicking than Joe Biden is right now. So thank you, CLVR, for the support. Rebel Without a Q says, why do you care so much about Hillary? It's weird. I don't care about Hillary. I just know as a human, as a fellow human, I know how it feels to have a huge dream, a monster-sized dream, and know that you're capable of it, only to have it ripped out away from you and it's gone. I have felt that multiple times in my life, and when Hillary Clinton lost the election, although I was celebrating with Donald Trump because I do support Donald Trump, I could not hide my empathy for Hillary Clinton because a huge dream of hers was torn from her. And I may not like her politics. I may think she's corrupt. I may not think she's great for the country, but as a human to human, I know she cried that night. And that's hard. That's very, very hard to know that someone's crying because a dream that they had was torn from them. And I use her as an example to show you how sincerely I believe in what I'm telling you about this ReDreaming concept. Because if I can speak empathetically about Hillary Clinton, someone who politically I am diametrically opposed to, I hope you can recognize that I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't, I want you guys, whether you guys support Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Trump, Vance, whoever, I don't care about your politics. We're only talking about dreams on this little monologue right here. And I want your dreams to come true. But more than your dreams coming true, I want you to be fulfilled in life. And if we get too stuck on a particular dream, after that dream has been torn from us, we may miss out on finding a brand new dream that could be even more emotionally fulfilling. I was telling you before, I want to read from this book right here. It's, why is this zoomed in so much? Sorry. A Mind Awake by C.S. Lewis. And I want to read just one paragraph where he talks about not focusing on the past, because the past is gone. So listen up. I'm going to read it twice because it's a little bit complicated. Let me read this here with you so you can read it with me. Right up here. And the joke or tragedy, let me make this easier. And the joke or tragedy of it all is that these golden moments in the past, which are so tormenting if we erect them into a norm, are entirely nourishing, wholesome, and enchanting if we are content to accept them for what they are, for memories. So before I go on, let me just explain what he's saying right there. He's saying, if you can keep the memories of things that happened in the past, that has immeasurable psychological benefit. I'm going to read this sentence again because it's really important. And the joke or tragedy of it all is that these golden moments in the past, which are so tormenting if we erect them into a norm, are nourishing, wholesome, and enchanting if we're content to accept them for what they are, for memories. Let's move on. Properly bedded down in a past which we do not miserably try to conjure back, they will send up exquisite growths. Leave the bulbs alone and the new flowers will come up. But grub them up and hope by fondling and sniffing to get last year's blooms, and you will get nothing unless a seed die. So what is he basically saying is, if you can keep memories in the past, they can become amazing seeds for something even better in the future. But if you're constantly going back to the memories of the past and you're digging up these seeds of the past, and you're digging up these memories, and you are fondling them, and you're touching them, and you're crushing them, and trying to bring them back, nothing is going to grow in the future. You want to leave those memories as seeds, as a launch pad for what you can create in the future by ReDreaming. And I just read this 3 days ago, it was wonderful because I've had this concept of ReDreaming for years, but that really helped remind us all, it's not just about ReDreaming about the future. It's about stop digging up the past. Leave the past there and think of the good memories, wonderful, and smile. And if you have bad memories there, do not pick at them like scabs. How many of us have had a scab on our wrist or our leg and we start picking it? What happens? It starts to bleed. It takes longer to heal, and then it leaves a scar. You have to just leave the scab there. Don't look at it, and go forth and get on your bike and ride. Go for your walk. Go do the work on the computer, whatever it may be. Let me look here at the chat. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Really appreciate it. I'm 800 watch hours away from 3,000, which means I'll finally get monetized and have super chat and have merchandise and have membership. So soon I'll be hitting the big leagues in the next few weeks. Thank you for your support. John says Trump 2024. I do believe Trump is going to win. Dark Prince Kickon is asking, am I Trump 2024? I am. I'm definitely pro-business. I'm pro-peace in the world. I'm pro-security around our country. And I just don't think that our country has been safe the last year. I think the economy has been really troubling the last 4 years. I think we have a lot of illegal immigration from people who are not vetted and are causing chaos in all of these big cities. And I want to feel that there's someone in the White House who is really caring about American citizens. And I just don't feel that's happening right now. Raymond says, let's go John Clayton, CLVR. He's dark. If you look at his lives, you can see Billy Bob. He talks about Trump being the new president. John is saying, am I a recovering strong drug addict? I'm actually not recovering from it because I'm addicted to YouTube Live. I'm addicted to ambition. I'm addicted to success. I'm addicted to helping people. I'm addicted to making people laugh. I'm addicted to pursuing my dreams and not letting my dreams go. So I'm not a recovering strong drug addict. I am a strong drug addict because my drug is what I'm doing right now. Joel, the more I listen, the more I like you. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing your comments with me and giving me a thumbs up. Major says you are getting older. We are all getting older, guys. We are getting older. I will say this. I look younger than a lot of people my age, and I will tell you my secret. I wear sunblock every day. I wore sunblock on my face and my legs, my arms every day, even when I was living in New York and in Maine, where the UV is much lower. So certainly down here in Florida, every single day. But I tell you, the biggest cause of aging is skin damage caused by the sun's ultraviolet rays. So if you want to rejuvenate your skin and try to keep looking as young as you can, put some sunblock on your face every day. All right, age is just a number. Carly says, have no fear, for I am here. Carly, you always come here like 30 minutes late. Good to see you, girl. Hi, Lethalium, good to see you. I hope for your birthday you get monetized. CLVR, I hope I get monetized before my birthday. My birthday is November 7th. So if all goes well, I should get monetized in September. It takes 30 days for YouTube to evaluate your application after you hit 3,000. So I'm hoping that'll happen sometime in the next 3 to 5 weeks, and then it'll probably be mid to late September. Fingers crossed. By Scro, what's the best way to promote a home service business? Okay, so we're taking off my motivational speaking hat, and now we're putting on my MBA in finance hat, and I have a master's in entrepreneurship hat, and I am a business attorney hat. And by the way, those are all things. I'm not just making that up. I am all those things. You can Google me, Monroe Mann. The best way to promote a home services business. So the best way to promote any business is you have to promote You have to find people who actually want to buy from you. And it's a lot harder than it seems. If it's a home services business, honestly, I think the best way to promote it, it might be a lot of legwork, but go walk door to door and you put flyers in every single door. Better than that, you go and knock on the door and you give them the flyer in person, say, hi, my name is Monroe Mann. I have the Monroe Mann Home Services business. I'm new to the neighborhood. And I just think, do you have 2 minutes? I could just tell you very briefly about what I do. Maybe half the people will slam the door in your face, say, no thanks. The other half will say, sure, okay. Good, you got 2 minutes. And then easily just talk to them a little bit about what the business is. The 3 main things we do, we can clean your house inside, sparkling clean. We can do all the landscaping outside. And we also are able to do car washes as well. I'm just coming up with rare examples. But boom, now they know who you are. They know you're a good salesperson. You only talk to them for 2 minutes. You gave them the top 3 things that you do. I guarantee you, if you go around your neighborhood and you leave these flyers on 300, 400 houses, you will start to get businesses. And then once you get businesses, you need to have people leave Google reviews. So start a Google Your Business on Google and start a Yelp. Start maybe on what's the other one? Angie, any of those things. You can also do, start an account on TaskRabbit. Many of these apps, they will bring you business as well. And all you got to do is just start getting referrals, and then start with referrals by asking them, hi, I did a great job for you. I know you're really happy. Can you please give me the name of 3 people who may need home services as well? And do you mind if I use your name? Boom. Then you contact those 3 people and say, hi, John Phillips. I just did some work for John Phillips' house. He referred me to you. And I hope that you may know somebody who needs home services, as well. Sometimes the beauty of that is when saying, hey, I'm just calling to see if you know anyone who needs home services as well. It doesn't come across as pushy. Rather than saying I'm coming across, I'd like to know if you need home services, just ask do you know any of your friends who need it? They may go, well, no, I do, but I also need help myself. And boom. The hardest thing is just getting the business up and running, because once you can start getting the referrals, that should be and I say this, join BNI or consider joining BNI, BNI.com, Business Networking International. The whole thing is about giving referrals to you. So I've been to a couple BNI meetings here in Miami Beach and Key Biscayne. And I'm working with my partner, Federico. He's also a private investigator here, to decide if we want to join for our private eye firm, if I want to join for Break Diving, which is my global not-for-profits personal growth community. And those are some just suggestions off the top of my head. And Infinite Vitz doesn't remember Joey Chestnut having this haircut. His name is not Joey Chestnut. His name is Rocco Tribbiani. And Rocco Tribbiani will be back here one day later. Of course, Lithium, I remember you. You're a real man. That's awesome. Eventually, read your comment. I'm really positive. Thanks, Major. That's right, Lithium. Rocco Tribbiani doesn't play around. He will come and brush your teeth. Want to know something crazy about polypeptides in chickens and humans? Zach Baker, I would love to know something crazy about polypeptides in chickens and humans. Please share in the chat. And Rocco Tribbiani. Major wants to know my first job. Gosh, what was my first job? I'd say it was a business that I created myself. I was mowing lawns in Port Chester, New York. And I would go around just like I was telling this other guy. I'd knock on doors and just say, hey, I've got a lawnmower. Can I mow your lawn for $20? And I usually go to these houses where their grass is not looking great. And of course they say, sure, absolutely. And then more and more people find out about me, and I got more and more business that way. Toby is asking, he wants a job. Okay, I don't have any jobs to give you, sorry. Let's see, Nathaniel saying hello. Hi, Jesse, good to see you. Kino ripped his hair off. Oh boy, we've got a lot of comments here. I'm trying to catch up with all what you guys are saying here, and then we're going to get back to what's going on. VJ says hello. Do I have a girlfriend? Nope, no girlfriend. VJ saying, what's your motive in life? I think there's a difference between, it's not your motive, it's more like what is your motivation in life. So a motive means, it usually has a negative connotation, meaning what was Donald Trump's attempted assassin's motive? It means what was the justification for him doing something negative? Motivation is something different. Motivation is usually more positive. Motivation can be negative too. But VJ asked me, what is your motive in life? I'm going to assume you mean my motivation. My motivation in life is, I have great ambition. I think that's my motivation in life. And I'll explain to you why I have this ambition. But I say that ambition is both a double-edged sword. It's a yin and your yang, and it's my blessing and my curse. Why? Because ambition is what has allowed me to do so much more than 99% of people in this world. And I'm not bragging, I'm sharing the vibe. If you look at my resume, if you watch my YouTube live streams, you'll find out eventually that I've done more than most people do in 5 lifetimes. But at the same time, it's my curse. Because when you have ambition, it means you're going to suffer greatly. Just as I told you, Hillary Clinton suffered greatly when she lost the presidency, and I know the pain that she felt. When you have great ambition, you fail more often than other people. And when you fail more often than other people, it brings depression. It brings self-doubt. It brings disappointment. And so I hate my ambition because I'm so depressed all the time and disappointed because I'm trying so many things. But 85% of the things, I know I can succeed at. And so I keep pushing. Here's a side note. If you're starting a business or anything you want to do in life, assume that 99% of the things you do in life are going to fail. Why do you want to assume this? People think, but that's so negative. That's so negative. Well, no, it's me being realistic. 99% of the things you do are not going to succeed. So how is that positive? Because it gives you a grounded nature. People who start businesses, let's use YouTube as an example. How many of you know someone who started a YouTube channel and their mission was, I'm going to be making $20,000 a month within the next 3 weeks. And then after 4 days, they realized it's really hard to get subscribers. It's really hard to get likes. I had been YouTubing for 18 years before I found YouTube Live. And YouTube Live, I discovered it 2 months ago. Only in the last 2 months, because of live streaming, am I starting to get lots and lots of people watching me. Lots and lots of subscribers. It took me 18 years of not giving up. I did a chat GPT search just to ask what percentage of YouTubers get paid, have their channel monetized. I don't know if ChatGPT is correct. We all know it gives off its own data sometimes, but it said somewhere between 5 and 7%. Which means if I can get this channel monetized over these next 2 months, which I'm on track for, I will suddenly go from the bottom 95% of YouTubers, I'll be in the top 7%. Wow. That doesn't even mean that I've made any money. It just means the channel is monetized. So going back to my motivation there, telling you that anything you do in life, assume you're going to fail. Why? When you get knocked down, you're more likely to get back up. When you get overly cocky and you allow your ego to control, and you have too much belief that you're going to succeed no matter what, and you're better than everybody else. Now, this is where I say, hey, Hillary Clinton was celebrating too much. I do have my empathy for her when she lost, because I know how devastating that was. But she was celebrating winning that election the whole time. Nobody thought that Donald Trump was going to win. But celebrating too soon and underestimating your enemy is that's the opposite of Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Sometimes I watch on YouTube, they have these YouTube compilations of athletes. and it's celebrating too soon. Go look on YouTube for celebrating too soon sometimes, and you'll see like these runner, and then he slows down and he puts his hand up right before the finish line, and then literally in a split second, boom, someone else runs by and gets first place. And that person was celebrating too soon and lost it. So going back to what Vijay asked me, what's your motive in life? Motivation. My motivation comes from my ambition. But where does my ambition come from? I believe in God. And forever, I have felt this feeling deep in my soul that I am meant to inspire people. And that I am meant to inspire people to go after their dreams, to believe in themselves, and to feel better about their lives. Life is tough, ladies and gentlemen. And anyone who tells me life is easy, either they are just not doing much, or they've got a secret that I don't know about. One of my friends, Mac, he's from England, Poland. He's a former colleague of mine. I had dinner with him last night at a little get-together. And we were just talking about how I have a zest for life, and he has a zen for life. He's far less ambitious than me. He has a much more simple life. He doesn't try as hard as me, but I think he's happier than me. That's why I said ambition to me is a double-edged sword. It's allowed me to accomplish a lot, but I'm not the happiest of campers because I'm always trying, I'm always striving, always seeking. Where Mac has been very content with his simple life, and I admire him for that. In many ways, I wish I had no ambition. But I also think the reason why I have so much ambition is because God has given me that ambition because he wants me to go and inspire the world. I am depressed a lot of times. I do have anxiety. I do think about the past. I do ruminate on past regrets and all that stuff. But I think that is what makes me such a good motivational speaker. It's why I'm so good at inspiring people, because I know how I know how it feels to feel miserable. I know how it feels to want to be dead sometimes. I know how horrible it is to have dreams pulled out from under you. So therefore, I'm able to encourage you guys, but I've also experienced the thrill of victory. I keep going because I know that success is possible, and oh my gosh, that feeling when you succeed at something after you've been struggling for so long. Guys, when this channel gets monetized after 18 years, oh my gosh, it's gonna feel awesome. Even this, today, it says I've got 39 people here in the live stream, 19 likes. Yesterday, I didn't live stream at all. Why? Because I was busy. I was in my biology lab. As I told you, I'm doing pre-med classes at Miami-Dade College. But I was exhausted, and the other day, I did a live stream, and I had 9 people, and it was just, it's like, oh my gosh, because when I did a live stream 2 weeks ago on Donald Trump's assassination attempt, I had 130. So I got this huge adrenaline rush, and then it dropped down to 7, 8 people. But look at this, I got 38 people here now, 40. It makes me feel so good again. Because again, I feel like I have something important to share. And I want to inspire people, I want to educate people. And now I've got this amazing audience of you guys. So thank you for clicking like, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for turning on that bell. Because I'd love you guys to come back here. By the way, I'm hoping I got to 3,000 subscribers. I don't know if I did. I got 40, 50 people on the live stream. I'm hoping I got 7 or 8 new subscribers. Let me keep going on in these messages here in the live chat. Trump cried in 2020. Mikey Masters, potentially, you're right. I guarantee that happened too. And anytime, again, I talk politics on here sometimes. You guys know that. But right now, I'm just talking about the human psyche in general. Absolutely, Trump was devastated in 2020 when he lost. And all of you, I'm using these examples of these huge presidential political candidates because if they know the agony of defeat, guess what? Certainly you, don't think that the only people that suffer are you and me, the little people. You and I, all of us watching here are little people. I don't mean that in a literal sense. I just mean that none of us here is making $50 million per year, I'm sure, maybe. None of us is running to be the president of our country. But if those people are able to endure it, guess what? So can we. We can learn from the fact that they went on. I applaud Hillary Clinton for moving forward. I didn't know how she was going to handle losing that election, and she did very admirably. Donald Trump lost the election in 2020. I don't know how the heck he found the strength to keep going. But here he is. And he just survived an assassination attempt, and he's still going. Put your politics aside for a minute when I'm talking about this stuff. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, both of them deserve a pat on the back because neither of them gave up in the face of horrible defeat. They learned how to redream and create a new path to something fulfilling in their lives despite their setbacks. And Tommy Temper says Trump must have said lock her up for some reason. It's going good. All right, guys, it's not going good, grammar lesson, it's going well. Going is a verb, good is an adjective. You need an adverb to modify a verb. Just sharing that with you, really important. Clearly your teachers in school don't teach you this, so your buddy Monroe Mann on YouTube Live is going to teach you how to speak English well. Hello, Anime Battle. And let's see. Hey, Depeche Mode, that whoever deleted that message from Depeche Mode shouldn't have deleted that. That says she's not human, how many bodies have disappeared. That's okay, we can share that in here. That people can share what they think about various candidates, it's okay. Again, as long as we're not talking about people negatively in the live chat or being really inappropriate. So sorry about that, Depeche Mode. Tommy Temper, a dream is just a regurgitation of your previous day's events. So Tommy Temper, you're right. If we're talking about that type of dream, I'm not talking about the dreams in your head while you're sleeping. I'm talking about the dreams that you have while you're awake and alive for your life. I want to make sure you guys have your huge dreams, and that if a dream has died, you redream. You come up with another dream that will evoke the same feeling of accomplishment once it is achieved. And you can do that. Subscribe to Monroe Mann. Let's see. If you don't like, you got meaning from that. Let's see. God bless you, dude. Thank you very much. Sasha, Mamka, Steflena. I'm trying to read Cyrillic and it's a little bit tough. Thank you, 0815 Games. Thank you, COX Smith. Glad to have you here. Thank you for clicking like. Jesus is King. God bless Jesus. There we go. Christopher Hulsberger says, if I heard that on the street, I wouldn't think it's a prophetic homeless man. I'd be crossing the street. Christopher, I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you could be more specific. Guys, and here's some advice to any of you when you're in live streams. The hosts they're not able to catch up and read what's on the chats in real time. So when I get down to your chat messages, if you're just referring to something that I just said, I often have no idea what the heck you're talking about. So be specific in your chat messages. And only 7 likes. Oh my gosh, we're way behind. I am way behind. I'm so sorry, guys. Hayden says, I'll just sub because you're open about Trump and not so sensitive. Nah, I'm not sensitive. I'm emotional, but I'm not sensitive. Hey, Funsky, Google Pro. Bill says, I got clean and off the streets in 94. After I got out of jail, I went to work, rehab, and here's the best thing I ever found at Shepherd's Chapel, and YouTube explains the whole Bible. God bless. Bill, good to have you here. Thank you for your support. My name is Monroe Mann. Thank you for subscribing and liking. The good, the bad, and the ugly says the secret to life is do not stress about anything. My hand is hurting holding this thing up here. I'm gonna put this over here for a second. Okay. Yeah, the secret to life is not stressing about anything. as a corollary to that, I know I study Buddhism a little bit, and the one thing I love about Buddhism is it first says, the first tenet of Buddhism is life is struggle. Meaning, that is life. Life does suck. Life is filled with trials and tribulations and difficult situations. And then it goes on to say the number one way to avoid that struggle overtaking your mental health and your peace is to stop being attached to so many things. There's a thing in psychology called attachment theory. And for example, if you had, when you were a kid, some instances where your parents were always abandoning you and leaving you to play by yourself and leaving you alone, that when you get older, you have a fear of abandonment. That's a theory. I'm not telling you that I agree with attachment theory or disagree with it. I'm just sharing what that is. But Buddhism also talks about this attachment theory in a way, because it's saying all of our stress in life, all of our misery in life, comes from our attachment to things, to people, to memories, to even to dreams. Maybe maybe part of my misery in life is not so much because I'm so attached to things in the past. Maybe because I'm so attached to this dream in my head. Again, as I told you, ambition is a blessing and a curse. I am grateful for my ambition because it's allowed me to do some great things. But it also causes me some psychological torment. But I love that about Buddhism. I mean, the whole idea of Buddhism is to try to think about meditation. When you do meditation, you're supposed to not think about the past, not think about the future. You're not even supposed to think about the present. You're supposed to focus on your breath. If you focus on your breath, you're not going to be focused on any attachment to anything. But our mind is attached to so many things all the time. We're attached to our rent payment is due, or a mortgage payment is due on the first of the month. I'm attached to my grumbling stomach that's telling me I'm hungry. I'm attached to my thirst. I'm attached to my friends and family who give me a feeling of social relevance. And Buddhism is selling, oh gosh, this has happened before. When there's so many comments, it starts to cut off the comments. Oh my gosh. I got to read these comments here because it's starting to cut them off and I won't be able to see them all. Sorry. See? So much stress. I'm so attached to what my fans here on YouTube Live think that I'm getting all stressed out. Mikey Master says, Major says, how to be happy. Oh gosh, honestly, I don't know what the secret to happiness is because I have not found it. And I'm honest with you, I'm miserable most of the time. But I do know that I would be happier if I were not attached to things so much, if I were not attached to outcomes, if I were not attached to the past so much, if I focused more on the present and didn't allow things that happened, my past regrets, to impact me, and if I didn't have anxiety about the future. Just so you know, what is anxiety? It's you're thinking about the future. What is regret? You're thinking about the past. And what about depression? You're thinking about the present. So the idea is if you get rid of depression, regret, and anxiety, you are living those tenets of Buddhism. Stop attaching yourself to any of those periods of time and just focus on the right here and now. Think about this. Right now, in my life, like literally this second, what am I doing? I am holding the phone. I'm in my apartment in Florida. I'm talking to you guys on YouTube Live. And I'm smiling because I see there's 42 people here, 22 likes. The chat is going really wild. And whenever I'm motivating people, it makes me happy. The truth is, like when I'm talking about the political stuff, I get very depressed. When I'm talking about Trump, Kamala Harris, the assassin, I don't like talking politics. I get drawn into it. But is there anyone who really gets fired up and feels good talking politics? I don't think so. I think it brings out the worst emotions in all of us. But this type of live stream where I'm talking about, let's go after our dreams, let's be ambitious, let's try not to focus too much on the past or the future. Right now, let me go back to what I was saying. Right now, at this moment, I'm very happy. Think about what you're doing right now, right at this very moment. Is your life really that terrible? Right now, I've got the air conditioning on. I'm sitting in a rocking chair. I'm talking to you guys. I just had lunch. I'm not thirsty. I mean, life is good. So I guess you could say I'm happy right now. And I guess it goes back to you are happy depends on what you're focusing on. When I'm talking to you guys, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm focused on other people. I think that's why I'm happy when I do motivational speaking. When I'm by myself, if I'm not here and I'm watching some stupid movie on Amazon Prime or Netflix, that's no intellectual stimulation whatsoever. It's just terrible. I honestly wish they should start. Maybe I'll make a production company. And the only films and TV shows they're dramas and comedies. But every episode you learn a valuable lesson about life. Like, wouldn't that be good? It's like, hey, no more bubblegum stupid Hollywood dramas. Like, but every episode, imagine if every time you watch House of the Dragon, you learn a valuable life lesson, or you learn something about how physics and science works, or you learn something about motivation or psychology. That would be pretty cool. Maybe I'll look into doing this. Anyway, right now, if you take stock of what you're doing, you're probably sitting at home, or you're at a friend's house. Maybe you're having a drink. Maybe you're having some chips. You're watching me. Maybe you're driving and you're just listening. But is your life right at that moment that bad? Probably not. Even if you have some miserable things going on in your life. But right now, is it bad? No. And that's kind of the essence of Buddhism, of focusing on now. Don't be attached to everything else that's going on. Let me look at the chat. Bye, Jesse, Carly. And VJ says, what's up, bro? Do I have a girlfriend? No. Oh, these are some old messages. I think I got to catch up even more beyond that. And what else we got? Hope to change a person going through jail. Happy birthday. What? Is it somebody's birthday? I'm not sure. Something. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly says, YouTube will never get any content out of me. God knows I have one great life story. I don't promote anybody's businesses. They're on their own. So all I could say is never say never, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, because you never know. You may end up on here. Peace out, everybody. See you later. CLVR, if you have something in your ear canal, if it hurts, go to the doctor. That's what I would say right there. And yes, and I agree with what Funsky40 said to Major. Don't be sad, keep working hard, and you'll definitely get success. Sometimes success comes a bit later in life. I'm 46. I thought, ladies and gentlemen, that I was going to be a multimillionaire before I was 25 years old. And no joke, and I know there are many of us who felt the same way, that we thought that we were going to become hugely successful before 25. And then 30 years old come, you think, I'll be on 30 under 30 on Forbes magazine. Then 40 under 40. I'm 46. I guess I'll have to be on the 50 under 50. But I'm reminded of Colonel Sanders, who created Kentucky Fried Chicken. And most people don't know, Colonel Sanders was something like 67 years old when he found success through Kentucky Fried Chicken. So this is the good lesson. I know it's easy to compare yourself to other people. It's so easy for me right now, put it about this way. Right now, there is someone today who's starting a YouTube channel today, and 3 weeks from now is going to be monetized and is already going to be making $10,000 a month. because whatever content they make just takes off like a rocket. That is the exception, not the rule, and it does me no good to think that is a reality. Right now, there was somebody who was a nobody, and in a month from now was going to be making 100 grand a year on YouTube. That's not me. And if you focus on those outlier success stories, you'll never keep going. If I had focused on those, I would have given up on YouTube years ago. It's 18 years. I'm one of the first YouTubers, 2016. But for 18 years, nobody was watching my videos until 2 months ago, when I just randomly was walking down the streets of Miami Beach, and I just did a TEDx talk in New York City. By the way, I'm doing another TEDx talk in Philadelphia on August 31st. If any of you live in the Philadelphia area, let me know, and maybe I can get you a ticket to come see me speak live. And anyway, I just did this TEDx. I came back here. Somebody was telling me, dude, you're such a great speaker. You should do a podcast. And I thought, oh, I don't want to do a podcast. I've already got a YouTube channel. And so I kind of threw that away. But then one day I was just looking at YouTube and I saw that there was the live tab. And I went, oh yeah, there's YouTube Live. You know what? Let me just turn this thing on. And I did. And for about 3-4 minutes, no one was there. But I just kept talking. And then suddenly, boom, one person showed up. And I went back. I said, oh my gosh. I said, is there someone there? Hello to whoever just joined us. I was so shocked. And I just kept talking. And I think I fluctuated back and forth between 1 and 2 people. And I talked for 30 minutes. And then something amazing happened. At the end of the live stream, YouTube gave me a little screen that showed me how many people were watching, how long the stream was, but most importantly, it showed me how much watch time I got. And literally for a half an hour, I got something like 13 minutes of watch time. Absolutely nothing. But it gave me a bright idea, and I thought, oh my gosh. I'm not getting watch time from people watching my videos, but for some reason, me talking for 30 minutes, I got 13 minutes of watch time, which is more watch time I get on most of my videos. And boom, so it took me 18 years, and I'm now 46. It was 18 years ago, 46, so 46, 36, 26. I was 28 years old, ladies and gentlemen, when I started my YouTube channel. I think it was, 28 years old. And now I'm 46. And only now am I getting an audience. 39 people watching, 25 likes. This doesn't happen to Monroe Mann. But it happened because I never gave up. Which is the third topic that I wanted to talk about today. The 3 topics today was ReDreaming, the election 2024. We keep going in and out of Biden, Harris, Trump, and all that. And talking about persistence. But success oftentimes is just about how long can you keep going when everyone is telling you to quit? How long can you keep pushing forward despite everyone telling you to quit? The Democrats did everything they could to make Donald Trump quit. And the Democrats did everything they could to make Americans believe that they should not support Donald Trump. I really believe everything they did is going to backfire them 100%. On November 4th, when Trump wins. I don't think it's going to be a landslide, but Trump is going to win this election, I heartily believe. And I think it's because everybody treated him so terribly. That assassination attempt, that made a lot of believers out of Donald Trump. You saw even Mark Zuckerberg, who was not a Trump supporter. Yet he still said, I have to admit, seeing Trump have an attempted assassination and then 30 seconds later, standing up and putting his arm up in the air was pretty badass. Wow, so many converts. But it's persistence. Donald Trump had every reason to drop out of the election and just go back to his life. But no, everything he did made him more and more resolved to succeed. And we'll see. I can't predict the future. I'm not telling you exactly what's going to happen, but I believe that Donald Trump is going to win no matter who the Democrat nominee is. And let me see what we got here. Major says, I don't have any guidance, any friends. Major, I'll tell you this, how to make friends, just talk to people. Literally, go to a bar and sit there and start talking to people. Here's a story right now. I don't know if you guys know this guy named JR. And JR is marrying what the heck is who's that singer? I can't even remember what her name is. Tori. I can't even remember the girl's name. Braxton, Tony Braxton. So I'm at the bar in Miami Beach, South Beach, at TGI Fridays, and I'm just sitting, and I ended up just chatting with some guy there. Didn't know who he was. And then I mentioned that I was a lawyer. He mentioned that he was a lawyer. And guess what? 20 minutes into the conversation, he says, do you know who I am? I said, I'm sorry, I don't. And turns out he's the fiance of Tony Braxton's sister. And so great. I don't want to say he's my friend now, but I gave him my card, this and that. I bought a copy of his book. He's going to send a copy when he gets back to Atlanta. And it happened because I just talked to him. I was out walking the dog today, and the dog ran up to somebody, and I said, "Oh, can the dog say hello?" And Major, that's a way to make friends. Get a cute little dog and just start walking around with it. Guys and girls will become your friend. So anyway, these two guys, one guy from France, one guy from Italy, we ended up talking because I speak Italian, I speak French. They were both impressed by that and this and that. Next thing you know, guess what? They're both coming skydiving and wakeboarding with me in August. Just talk to people. That's it, Major. That's how you make friends. You have to be willing to open your mouth and just say, hi. And if you don't know what to say, compliment somebody. She goes, hi, I really love your shoes. As an experiment, gentlemen and ladies, you go up to 100 people and just say, hi, I love your shoes with a smile. To 100 people, you will make friends with 5 of them, I guarantee you. People, and you will end up seeing those 5 people again. Same thing if you want to date with a guy or a girl. Go up to 100 guys and girls and literally just say, hi, my name is Monroe. I'd love to take you out to dinner. Guess what? 5 of those 100 will say yes. If you're trying to raise money for a project, go up to 100 people and say, hi, I'm raising money for a project. Can I share a little bit with you about it? Probably 50 people will say, sure, absolutely. And of those, maybe 10 will actually invest in the project, even if it's just $10. All you have to do is open your mouth. Literally, I go around, how do I get more subscribers? I do this. Thank you guys for clicking like. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for clicking the bell. Thank you for coming to join my Discord. The link is here on my channel. Come join my community, breakdiving.io. The link is here on my channel. You just got to open your mouth and ask. Everybody's lonely. Everybody wants to have a friend. Some people are suspicious of it. But the truth is, that guy JR that I was talking to at the bar, he appreciated that I didn't know who the heck he was. Even though he's a very famous guy, when I looked down at his watch, I realized, wow, that was a diamond encrusted thing worth probably $20,000. But when I was just talking to him, he was just another guy, another lawyer. And I was another lawyer. And I'm sure he appreciated having a nice conversation with just a guy who didn't recognize him. Just talk and ask people, say hello. So, CLVR, why did you say you're not his friend? Bad CLVR. Thank you for clicking like. Turn around. What's behind me? Oh my gosh. Someone told me to turn around. What's up, Criselda? People don't understand. If you get 10 residential a week, you can make doesn't money. This is SCTN saying, I don't know if you're saying 10 residential what? Are you talking about residential real estate rental properties? Truth, yeah, that is true. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but the truth is my mom and I own 3 rental properties right now. 2 of them in South Beach, 1 of them in Maine. We're selling the one in Maine because it's an Airbnb, and I learned now from experience that running an Airbnb is a full-time job. Doing it from 2,000 miles away or 1,500 miles away, even harder. Much easier to run our 2 long-term rentals here, where we have 2 long-term tenants. And the truth is, if we had if we had 6 of these, neither of us would have to work again. Right now, my mom, because most of the money goes to my mom. I manage the properties. She makes a good deal of money from these 2 rental properties here. If we can get 3 more, smooth sailing. All of you guys should be working to get long-term rental properties. It is truly passive income, 90%, because you don't have to manage it on a daily basis. It's a massive amount of work up front, and there is a learning curve. And yes, you do get calls every once in a while, the air conditioner's broken. My toilet won't flush. But when do I get those calls? Once every 4 months. So for every 4 months, I have a small headache that takes me maybe 2 hours to solve because I call up the local handyman, the local air conditioner repair service. And as long as you're doing a good job of setting aside money from the rent that comes in to go to repairs, so $50 from every property goes into every month into a repair fund. So every month there's an extra $100 that goes into a repair fund. Every month, about $200 goes into a new down payment fund. So eventually my mom and I will have enough money to make another down payment on a next rental property. So that's a little diversion there. But long-term rentals, guys, can make you a lot of money with only a lot of work front end. Once you learn, I've become so good at being a long-term rental landlord and manager. Now it's just a matter of let's just get the 3rd property, get the 4th property, get the 5th property, and before you know it, now it's starting to steamroll. Hardest one is the first one. Figure out how to do that. Funsky says you should be able to get a job if you have completed an online course. Give it a bit of time, I'm sure you'll get something. Funsky 40 is being very motivational today. So thank you for the motivational assist, my friend. Next we have Trill Tate saying, Trump is the man, never fails. Major, already rejected by 18 companies. Major, I tell you this, I can't wait till I become so famous that people want to read my biography, my autobiography. No one has failed as much as I have. No one has gotten as much rejection as I have. You just keep going. What did I write here on the paper? These are the 3 things I wanted to talk about today. Right there. What does that say? The bottom one says PERS, which was my shorthand for persistence. All you need is one yes, Major. Funsky. Keep applying to the job. Somebody is eventually going to say yes to you. And Major, or start a job. Start your own business. Start your own business. 18 years ago, I wanted to make money from YouTube. And it didn't work out. But I never gave up and I kept going. And guess what? I think by September 15th, you guys will be able to super chat me money on here. You guys will be able to subscribe and become a member of my channel and I'll be making money. I mean, don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. Braves fan is a Trump supporter. 2nd biggest population in the world, 30% unemployment rate, 5.5 million. Trill Tate, don't say India yuck. That's not nice. India is a beautiful country. And it's one of the fastest developing economies in the world. And you should watch them. And I don't like that. You shouldn't say India yuck because I'm pretty sure you've never been there. If you've been to India, then maybe you can have an opinion on it. But don't be saying India yuck. It's a beautiful country and they've done some amazing things economically, financially, in the tech world. I guarantee you, Elon Musk doesn't say India yuck. So, Lowell says, if you would describe your meaning of goal in life with one word, what is it? For me, it's experience. By the way, can somebody please put the time in the chat, Eastern time? That's the only way I can stay up to date on what time, like how far behind I am on these chat messages. So if somebody could put New York time, what the time is in New York right now, that would be helpful. Describe your meaning or goal in life with one word or 2 words. For me, it's experience and adventure. Yeah, I think adventure is probably could sum up my life. And I think it would be pursue adventure, not money. That is my life. Everything has been pursuing adventure, not money. I was working as a public defender, making a good salary in New York. I quit that job to go take a very low-paying job in China teaching English. I do that all the time. I decided to join the military, and I went to Iraq and fought in the war over there as an intelligence officer, training the Iraqi army. And great, that was an adventure. Moved to South Florida to start my private investigation firm. Adventure, not money. I hope the money comes. Look at this, doing this YouTube. You think I've been doing YouTube for 18 years for the money? No, I've been doing it because it's a great adventure and it's fun and I like entertaining people. Well, maybe now after 18 years it's going to pay off, and maybe starting in 2025 this becomes a really lucrative part-time job for me. Hey, that would be fantastic. Let me check to make sure I'm not going to lose you on battery. 1 second. I got 25%. And Lowell, having fun through experience and adventure. That's good. Alexander the Great is defeated by King Porus. Okay. Trill Tate, not right place for your ignorance. Yes, thank you very much, Funsky. Thank you, Candy, for subscribing. You know what? Let me just go check to see if I got to 3,000 subscribers. Because last night we were trying to do it. We almost got there. We got to 2,993. Let me look to see what we're at right now and see if we are there. I'm refreshing the page, ladies and gentlemen. And 3,021. Guys, we got 30 subscribers on just this live stream. You guys are awesome. High five, high five, high five. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are fantastic. And hey, Tanya, good to see you. Major says, what are your thoughts about increasing corruption in India? The increasing in corruption around the world is just terrible. And I think corruption in any country is a major issue. And think about this, where do countries have the least viable economies? Where the corruption is highest. And so therefore, yes, there's corruption in the United States. We all know that. But it's certainly not as high as the corruption in many of the African states. And I'm a big fan of Africa, and I have many friends there, including my friend Lowell, who's on this live stream, who's from Ethiopia, but he lives in Kenya. But corruption is rampant. And when corruption is rampant, it means the people who work in the government are getting things that they do not deserve. And when the government gets too much of what they do not deserve, if the government employees get too much of what they don't deserve, it means taxpayer money is being diverted from helping the society and helping the populace into helping line the pockets of politicians. And so in India, again, India is, if not the most populated country, at least the second. There's a big argument going back and forth between China and India. I know the population in China is dropping dramatically, and because of their one-child policy, which it's been replaced with a 2.3 child per family policy in recent years, but the populace don't want to have children. Same thing's happening in Japan. The populace don't want to have children. So Japan and China have forever been known to be extremely highly populated countries, but they're dropping. I don't know in India if the birth rate is also lower than the death rate. That has nothing to do with corruption, by the way. But in a country where there are so many people, I guess it is relevant. The more corruption there is, the less resources there are for the people. If there are less and if the less resources there are for the people, that means the more people there are, the more diluted the limited resources are to go to those people. So if the corruption is very high in India, and the population is huge, which is about 1.3, 1.4 billion people, well, that's going to be a problem because the people are not going to have enough resources from their taxpayer money. So that's my thought on that. Princess Asia supporting Trump 2024. Tanya, did not forget about you. Am I caught up yet? Probably not. I don't know where you guys are. Timbleberry doesn't feel like she or he has any dreams. I always tell people, if you don't have dreams, here's an exercise you can do. I want you to think, imagine I am a magic genie. And right here This is $1 million right here. And it's a hard drive with $1 million of Bitcoin on it. I will give you this Bitcoin fortune of $1 million. I'll give you $1 million more every single year. But you have to tell me in 30 seconds, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? So think about it. It could be I want to help people. It could be I would love to have my own restaurant. It could be I want to travel. It could be I want to ride a bicycle. It could be I want to play video games. It could be I want to drink alcohol. And that sounds funny, but I'm being serious. If that's the first thing that comes to your mind, then maybe you should become a taste tester for beers. Or maybe you should start your own brewery. Or maybe you should go travel the world as a business consultant for bars that are struggling. Literally, whatever you love to do, you can create a passion about that and you can turn it into a business. So that's what I would say, Timbleberry. That's how you can come up with a dream. I also just urge you to think about when you were a kid. What are some of the things you wanted to do when you were a kid, but your parents told you that's stupid, or your friends told you that that's stupid, right? You can bring those dreams back to you 100%. Reba Fluff, medically, if you have chunks in your pee, that could be a problem because that could be some type of stone. And I really hope you go get that checked out. And vote blue. We got Steve James here supporting the Democrats. I welcome all of you guys on here. So everyone be kind to everybody during the live stream. Evelyn's kidding me. I think Evelyn's in summer camp, and I don't think she's going to be back for a while. Vivek, I already gave my thoughts on Vivek Ramaswamy. And let's see. Tanya, I'm still the live streamer. Thank you. Tiger Wright is saying, you seem to be a very positive person. I myself practice Buddhism as well. Helped me so much. I'm a Christian, but Buddhism has a lot of wisdom. And so I'm guided by Buddhism. I'm also guided by Christianity. And for those of you who are curious, I have read the Quran. I have read the Torah, which of course is the Old Testament and this and that. And first and foremost, I'm a Christian. Sharon Simpkins says, put us through hell to make sure we're worthy enough to go to heaven. Sharon, that is very wise. That is true. There's a saying that God will only make you endure. God will only put you through what he knows that you can endure. And the idea that he's putting, again, I really believe sometimes when I'm thinking clearly, when I'm thinking the most clearly, God has made me struggle so much, or God has allowed me to struggle so much, because he knows that the more struggle that I have, the more inspiring I become. I was inspiring back in, the year 2000, 2001, when I first did motivational speaking at the Learning Annex in New York City, where I was teaching people how to break into student films. I was teaching people how to get their ham radio license. But I was not as motivational as I am today, because I had not gone through the struggles when I was in my 20s that I have in the last 20 years. And I'm grateful in that sense for all of the struggles I've gone through, because it's given me so much perspective. No matter what excuse somebody gives me, I've been through so much that I can counter that excuse now, because I've been through probably worse than they have, or something comparably similar. So be grateful for your struggles, because it builds character and it makes you strong, and it's building you up for the real fight that is ahead of you. And again, think about this. Donald Trump, and again, I'm not speaking politically here. I'm just talking about him as a person. He went through so much as a real estate developer, developing negotiations, dealing with unsavory characters, dealing with character attacks. Isn't that everything that he did built him up for his first term in office? But his first term in office trained him and put him through a crucible that trained him for these last 4 years. I didn't think these last 4 years when he's out of office could be worse for him than when he was in office. Think about that. Who has ever been treated worse as a politician after they leave office? Unbelievable. And they threw everything at him and nothing stuck. And as Jesse Waters says on his show, he said, even a bullet can't stop Donald Trump from winning the 2024 election. So let's see. How does IQ affect this? Uriel, I don't know what you're talking about this. You have to be more specific. And Funsky equally likes us all. That is true. I like you all. Bristol, stop spamming. Monroe is not a dad. I'm a dad to all of you guys. You guys are all my lovable children all around the world. Telefono cellulare is telling me that I'm beautiful. Thank you. Lowell says, Monroe, what do you think of Vivek Ramaswamy? No, I think he's fantastic. And as I said, I think he's been tapped to become the Senate. J.D. Vance is a senator from Ohio. If Trump wins the election, he's going to become the senator he's going to be running for the senator for J.D. Vance's seat. I think Vivek Ramaswamy will be an elected senator very soon. And that may set Vivek Ramaswamy up for being a presidential candidate in the future. And we'll see. It could even be as early as 2028. We all think it's going to be J.D. Vance, but we have no idea whether J.D. Vance is going to do a great job or not. We have high hopes for him if he does. But, I mean, I had high hopes for Kamala Harris, and she really just let me down tremendously. She was anointed as the border czar, never went to the border, lied about never going to the border, never saw the head of Border Patrol, and now the media is trying to rewrite history and say that she was never anointed the border czar, when she absolutely was. Okay, and Carly says subscribe. Thank you. So again, somebody please put the time. I need the time, Eastern time. Put the time in the chat so I know. Not your time. I don't care what time it is where you are. I care about the time where I am. Can you all... Let's see. Who was the first person? Do you know? Who was the first person here in the live chat? I remember who it was. There was one person here, and I said hi, and I don't remember at this point. I'm sorry. And never back down, never. That's right, Blocky, never back down. You can see my face. Don't make fun. We'll never make fun of you. Ammo Cat says, can you let me out of the closet now? Ammo Cat, I'm sorry, but you've been a bad orangutan, and the orangutan must stay in the closet for another 2 hours. We'll consider letting you out later. 6-1, half of the dozen says, thank you, that's great advice. Again, I don't know what advice that was that I gave, but you're welcome. Thank you for subscribing. How can I start a new successful business? Come up, so if you guys want to start a business, make a list. Make a list of 10 businesses you could start. Just get a piece of paper and just write down 10 businesses you could start. Do not edit yourself. It doesn't matter how much money you need for the business. It doesn't matter how likely it is to succeed. It doesn't matter if you even have the educational or licensure credentials. Do not edit yourself. Just write down 10 businesses. If you come up with 20 business ideas, that's even better. Just come up with a list. That's the first step. And then start looking through them and saying, okay, which one gets me excited? Which one is actually financially viable? Which one can I start tomorrow? And off you go. Catface says hello. And Carly says, Ro, Goku Black is here. Annette Snyman is here. One child policy is no more. Correct, as I mentioned. Indian population is 105. I don't know what that means. 105 crores. Hey, Big Boy Banana Man. Good to have you back. And Valab Pathak says, the thing is, Western countries think they are on top of the world, but India, China invested their time into philosophy. Now India and China will do a comeback. First, Valab, it's T-H-E-I-R, there, possessive, not T-H-E-R-E. I want to help your grammar. And you're right that Western nations believe they're on top of the world. Well, first of all, they are on top of the world. Let's not, the West still controls 100%. But how did the Roman Empire fall? Because they got cocky. The Roman Empire overextended itself. The Roman Empire thought they could do no wrong. The Roman Empire believed there is no way we're ever going to fail. And what happened? They failed. So India and China are rising. All of the BRICS are. Brazil, Russia, India, B-R-I-C, what is the C? Can't even remember these. China, India, and South Africa. They're all on the rise. But there is this, I think there's this false sense among a number of economists that the BRICS nations are going to usurp the US dollar in the short term. They're not. The dollar's not going to disappear next year. I know China is trying to make the yuan a reserve currency. We know the Russian ruble is not going to be a reserve currency. The Indian currency, which I think is called the rupee, I don't think that's going to become a world currency. So despite the fact that China, India, Russia, South Africa, Brazil, they're all rising nations, and they are powerhouses, I don't think they're going to overtake us, the West, if the West is humble enough to recognize the rising power from these countries. As many of you know, I lived in China twice. Love the country. I love it. I love China. I love Chinese. I speak Chinese pretty well. I have thousands of friends there, and I can't wait to go back to Shanghai. But they are America's military enemy, because China is trying to create domination on the seas. Right now, the United States Navy is the leader. But think about that. The United States used to be the Spanish Navy, the Spanish Armada, used to be the English Navy, used to be the Dutch Navy. Tides change all the time, and it usually happens when the reigning power loses perspective and starts to think they're more powerful and invincible than they are. I once dated this girl who I thought would never leave me because I was the most awesome guy on the planet. So I started to treat her less and less importantly. And what did she do? She left me. So that's what happens. The same thing with diplomacy and world politics and geopolitical threats and whatnot. Don't let your guard down. If the West lets their guard down, absolutely, the BRICS nations can overcome. We will see what happens. Luke Rush says, am I a Trump voter? I wouldn't say I'm a Trump voter. I'm an American voter who is likely to vote for Donald Trump. Justin Bradford, I fought with Wagner in Africa. I have some fun stories. I'm in Ukraine. Just started watching you. Justin, fascinating to hear. By the way, sometimes I bring people on as special guests. Justin, if you want to maybe come onto my live stream sometime as a guest and tell me some of your stories with Wagner in Africa, I'm sure my viewers would love to hear, and so would I. Just join the Discord or leave a message in comments, and we can chat. CJ says, drop the politics and dedicate to just God. God is certainly more important. We all win when we vote for God, ladies and gentlemen. Valab says, Buddhism and Christianity are polar opposite religions. You are incorrect, because Buddhism is not a religion. Buddhism is an outlook on life. There is absolutely nothing about Buddhism that is talking about God. The Buddha was not God. Buddha was just an enlightened individual who reached nirvana. So, and went through the noble path. But Buddhism and Christianity are 100% compatible. 100%. There's nothing about Buddhism that directly refutes Christianity or vice versa. And even so, you can find inspiration from opposing sources. I talk about role models a lot, and when I do, Hitler can be a role model. Why? You can learn, believe it or not, positive and negative things from him. Negatively, of course, you learn how not to treat people. How you can, if you act the opposite way, you can get more people to love you. But more importantly, you can learn from his positive stuff as well. He used his God-given talents for evil. But anyone who denies his prowess as a public speaker, as a psychological salesperson, as a leader, there is no one in their right mind who denies Hitler had some positive qualities. It doesn't mean he's a role model in terms of I want to emulate everything about him. But if you can combine my ambition with my good heart and my desire to inspire the world with Hitler's ability to inspire people and convince them that what he's talking about is the truth, I would do very, very well. And this is why it's important to read history. Mark Twain, paraphrase, said, those who refuse to learn history are doomed to repeat it. Sun Tzu said in the book, The Art of War, that the key to success, one is know thyself, but the other one is know thy enemy. And how are you going to know your enemy unless you study your enemy and try to learn from your enemy and learn lessons from your enemy? So, Valab says Trump is good for India. Trump is good for the world. Unless you're a terrorist or you hate America or you want to kill Americans. Other than that, Trump is very good for the world. Again, watch this. Trump wins. I'd say within 6 months, the stock market is soaring and is doing so incredibly well. Within 6 months, the Russia-Ukraine war has ended. The Israel-Hamas war has ended. And any problems that are going on between China and Taiwan have ended. I really hope Trump wins for many reasons, but I really want to see, because people will see firsthand that Trump is a peacemaker, far more than those on the Democrats. Democrats are by definition anti-war and anti-military, so they are weak. And so America's enemies know they can push a Democrat president's buttons because a Democrat president is never going to do anything. Trump is anti-war in the fact that when Trump took office, there were all these conflicts. He reduced the world conflicts during Trump's 4 years of his first term. Biden, during his 4 years, the whole world has blown up like a powder keg. It's a disaster in the world right now. And anyone who denies that, and you cannot blame that on Donald Trump. You blame that on Joe Biden. It just blows my mind. The world is peaceful under Donald Trump, and people say that he inherited it from Obama. The world is a disaster under Biden, and they say that he inherited that from Donald Trump. It's just bonkers. The world is in chaos now because Donald Trump is not in office, because we don't have a strong president. Put politics aside. Donald Trump is a strong president who people fear and respect. Joe Biden / Kamala Harris, not strong. No one respects these people. And I'm talking about foreign leaders. Kamala Harris seems to me like somebody who would be the president of a small, obscure European nation, not the president of the most powerful nation, economy, and military in the world. Okay, let me see what we got here. Justin Bradford is helping us out here. Ozlung says Trump 2024, Ozluka 350. Oh my gosh, guys, I am 20 minutes behind on this chat. I apologize. You guys are giving such amazing comments here. And guys, I love it. I love it when you guys in the chat give me interesting things to talk about. It's a symbiotic relationship here. Sometimes I've got some people in here that don't say anything, or they say stuff, but it doesn't inspire me. You guys are inspiring me to say good stuff. So we've got a beautiful little engine here, a thought engine that includes all of us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for clicking like, and turn on the bell for more of my live streams. Funsky 40, I have some interesting opinions about Kamala, but I'm afraid I can't express them. Funsky, you can share them as long as you don't do so using foul language. Rocco Love, hey man, I caught you once a month ago. Hope your channel is growing. Thank you, Rocco. With the Rocco love that I get from you, it's certainly growing. We just got to 3,020 subscribers today, so we hit 3,000 because of this live stream. And we're getting very, very close. We have 800 hours more until I can get the channel monetized. And then I'm hoping I can start to pay some of my rent by YouTubing, which would, I know it would make me happy. I hope knowing that I could pay my rent with some of the support you guys gives would make you guys happy too. If nothing else, as a bonus, it'll inspire you to realize that, oh my gosh, I saw this guy get monetized. Like, you can make money from YouTube. I'm hoping that I can become an inspiration for other people who are trying to make money from YouTube, because it's been a long journey, ladies and gentlemen. Let me check my battery power. 38% here. Yeah, channel is growing. Pinkman's back. Let me try to catch up here. Goku Black. Carl, have I dated a girl in my life? So Major is asking me, in 46 years, have I ever dated a girl in my life? Yes, I have. I've dated many girls. I've just never had a girlfriend. My Chinese teacher calls me a, how do you say it in Chinese? Oh gosh. The word is scumbag in Chinese. I wish I could find the name for it. It's very funny. Because I told her that I've dated lots of girls, but I've never had a girlfriend. She goes, oh, you're a scumbag in Chinese. What was it? It's really funny. I'm going to remember the name for that, and on one of these other live streams, I'll tell you about it. But no, I have a tough time finding a girl who I feel so compatible with that I feel I want to spend massive amounts of time with. I'm a very busy guy. I'm a very unique guy, a very unique personality. And I think it's very hard for many girls to keep up with me. And I get bored with them. Their personalities start to dull after a while, or they try to change me and try to tell me that why don't you just get a normal job? Or, why do you keep wanting to travel the world? I had somebody say, why do you keep doing that YouTube thing? This is why I'm doing the YouTube thing, because it's finally starting to work. I guarantee you no girl would say to me, why are you doing that YouTube thing if I'm making $10,000 a month and helping to, pay for family trips. So yeah, I've dated many girls. I'm still looking for the perfect one. And thanks, Carly, for staying here. I appreciate that. Buddha never talked about God. Vala, I just told you that. Christianity and Buddhism are very different, but they are not incompatible. Buddhism is not a religion. It is a life philosophy. That's my take on that. And I have a Buddha statue in my room. There's a friend for my thing. Sounds tough. The creator of the universe is one. The Art of War. Yes, it's a great book. Thank you for subscribing. Beckham Tassamam says Trump for life. We've been stuck at 32 likes for a long time, so let's double tap that screen. Let's get up to 35, because I know there are at least 3 people here who like what I'm saying but have not clicked like. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell. And remember, you're not always going to get me just talking like this. Sometimes I'm talking in funny characters. Sometimes I'm playing music. Sometimes I'm talking. It's a big smorgasbord of stuff here. And Russian people, I'm Russian. Let's see, what are you asking? Keep up the good work, thank you. Tanya was listening to Metallica. Mike Stibley, let's think about others for once instead of just yourself. Mike Stibley, I like thinking about myself. So, sorry. And honestly, the truth is, all of you should think more about yourself. Because I think a lot of times we don't respect ourselves enough to believe that we deserve to be treated well, or that we deserve to have a good job, or we deserve to have love. So I appreciate Mike Stibley for saying that, even though he's wrong. But also, Mike, the whole reason why people are watching me is because they like hearing my stories. So, and why am I doing YouTube Live? Part of me is because I like inspiring people. The whole reason I'm doing this is not just for if this were just for myself, I'd say, screw this. I'm not gonna just talk for no money for people on YouTube Live. I get $400 an hour as an attorney. I get $0 a month as a YouTube Liver. Though actually, technically, I make $23 a month through my Patreon supporters. And I thank you very much, Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/Monroe Mann, Cash App, Monroe Mann. Thanks, Jesse. We got to 3,000. Pretty awesome. Johnny Lawrence. Oh, I just watched the end of season 5 of Cobra Kai. So I'm very curious to see what happens in season 6. No spoilers. Don't tell me anything. And I have a tough time finding a decent human being. When was the last time you saw her? I saw her 2 weeks ago. I think she told me she was going to summer camp. My standards are alive, cute, and really nice. Very good. And Lowell says, our relationship situation is somewhat the same. Girls want to settle down, and I'm not ready for that. Yeah, I don't think, it's hard for me to have somebody to, if I could not settle down. Let's just put it this way. I was thinking for a moment, am I ever going to want to settle down? The answer is never. Never. I would need somebody that just fits into this whole, everything that I'm doing. It would probably one of two people. It would be a personality of someone who's very supportive and loving, but very quiet, but kind of just goes along with everything that I do and doesn't interfere, but supports me. Or the opposite, someone who supports me so much that she's involved with absolutely everything I do. I think somebody in the middle just wouldn't work. Jesse Pinkman, I'm unstable too, so don't worry. Good standards, Carly, alive. Preferably, Carly, that's disturbing. Carly says that her standards is someone for a relationship, she put alive in parentheses, preferably. That's a big concern. Loyal, not completely stupid, not too ugly, not weird or minor, athletic, not a brat. Major mentally unstable. Volov says the Russian war will be stopped, but do you think Israel Hamas will? I told you this. If Donald Trump wins, literally within like a month, both of those wars will be over. There will be peace. Don't underestimate Trump's ability to solve conflicts. And how old am I? I'm 46 years old. Finally. I finally caught up. I finally caught up in the chat. So, ladies and gentlemen, to review what we're talking about. All right, before we review, I'll answer what Major said. How will Donald end the Israel-Hamas war? Because Donald Trump did already. He during his tenure as president, he had the biggest peace treaty signed in the Middle East in the last 25 years. When Donald Trump was president, he successfully moved the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. Wherever U.S. president said he was going to do that for the last 40 years, Donald Trump was the one that did it. So I have full faith that Donald Trump will be able to end the war with Israel and Hamas and end the war with Russia and Ukraine. You ask me how? I'd have to do some more thinking to think about how he does it. He's a brilliant guy and a brilliant negotiator, and he understands foreign affairs better than 99% of generals across the globe. So we will have to see. Maybe I'll talk about that later, about how I would do that, about how I would end these things. We will see. And yeah, thank you for deleting that, Jesse. That was pretty disgusting. Tanya, don't say disgusting stuff like that. We don't need that. So anyway, a review of what we were talking about today is number one is ReDreaming. No matter what, you're gonna have dreams in life, and you do have dreams in life. And some of those dreams may come true. Not even may. Some of those dreams will come true. But some of them you're gonna fail. It's just a fact of life. As I said, maybe 85% of your dreams can come true in life. 15%, they're just not gonna happen. So then what do? ReDream. A review of what I said earlier is, it means you do not try to create that same dream again. If you want, let's just say you wanted to get a job at Blockbuster Video. Well, that business doesn't exist anymore. So you cannot do that anymore. So that dream is dead, but you can ReDream by creating a new dream in a completely different field, maybe a completely different job, completely different position, but it will give you the same sense of satisfaction when it succeeds. It seems hard to do, but what you were upset about when you lose a dream, it's not that you actually lost that dream. You feel you lost the feeling that you were gonna get when that dream came true. So that's what I'm saying. You just need to ReDream, try to come up with something new that will give you that exact same feeling, even though it's a completely different field, different job, different person, whatever it may be. We talked a little bit about election 2024. I don't think I need to go into the details of that because we've been talking about that. But concluding again with persistence. Ladies and gentlemen, don't stop until you succeed. Don't stop until you're able to ReDream a new dream for yourself. Don't wallow in self-pity about the past over and over and over again, bemoaning the fact that you lost this girl, or you lost this guy, or you lost this dream, or you lost this opportunity, or you lost this whatever. The past is past, it is over with. ReDream. Think about what can you do from this moment forward. Stop looking about what went behind you. It is gone. Focus on where are you now and what is ahead of you. Focus on what is ahead of you. And I guarantee you, you will find some other goal in life that is even more suitable for you than the other dream that you lost. Do not get caught in the past. It's so easy for us to constantly regurgitate the past and think about, oh, things were so much better before. Who cares? It's gone. All you got is the future. You've got to focus only on the future, what is ahead of you. Right now, every single one of you has something over the last week that you've been upset about because it happened in the past and you feel regretful about it and you're angry about it, blah, 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 blah. You're losing valuable time and energy by focusing on it. You need to focus 100% on what do you got right now and what can you do with that to get you to where you want to go. Persistence. So let me finish up these comments, then I think we're gonna finish up this live stream. Robert Gamer is so close to his or her dream man. Awesome. What is Jesse saying? I don't know what Jesse was saying. But thank you for... All right, Vala says, it's not that era anymore, bro. Israel doesn't listen to anyone. I'm of the opinion that Israel deserves to exist. So I come from that perspective. The Jews were in that area for thousands and thousands of years. I think they have a larger claim to that area than the Palestinians. I think the Israelis have been wonderful by giving the Palestinians a place to stay and they generally were not interfering. And then what do they do? Hamas kidnaps, rapes, and destroys these Jews at this picnic. Again, maybe we'll have a whole talk about Israel and Hamas one day, but Hamas made a big mistake by attacking Israel and killing innocent people. Hamas still has innocent civilians being held hostage. That's not a very good negotiation tactic. So if Palestinians want to have their own freedom, they need to start acting like they deserve to have an independent country. Right now, if we gave the Palestinians an independent country, it would become a proxy for Iran and Hezbollah to just launch attacks on Israel and on the United States. I'm an American and I'm a big fan of my country, and I care for my safety and the safety of my countrymen. So I'm also an Iraq war veteran who spent time in Iraq, and Iran-backed terrorists and bad guys were trying to kill me. I don't want other people to be able to be killed by Iranian-backed weapons and beliefs. And that's what would happen if we give independence to Palestine the way it is right now, because Hamas will take over. And most Palestinians support Hamas. And Hamas, in my opinion, it's a terrorist organization. They kill people simply because of political beliefs. The Palestinians constantly sing, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," which means let's get rid of Israel completely, because Israel is smack in the middle between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean. So, anyway, you asked about that. That's my chat about that. And common sense, facts, Monroe. 10th grade, it's nothing, Monroe, forget about it. The beast is going to smack someone. Okay, that's not good. All right, hostage are still too far. Absolutely. Anyway, gentlemen, ladies, boys, girls, this has been a lovely live stream. I got a bunch of watch time with a bunch of wonderful people. I appreciate you all supporting me. Thank you for the likes and the subscriptions. I'm so excited that I got past 3,000 subscribers already. And tune in later. I'll probably do another live stream later tonight. It'll probably be either music, or it'll be my original music, or it'll be one of my comedy characters. So don't be surprised. It's not going to be me talking like this. Love you guys. Love you too, Major. Bye, guys. See you soon. See you next time.